Hey, so we're talking about using Calendly for our parent-teacher conference signups. This has a few steps to getting your account all set up. So we wanted to go ahead and give you a walkthrough and a step-by-step how-to video. That way you have the ability to pause me and open up the Calendly website in another tab, and then go through my steps one by one, and then just hit play and pause as needed. That way you can get a Calendly account all set up for parent-teacher conferences. So step one is going to be going to Calendly, Calendly.com, and creating an account. Just a single account, not the Teams account or anything. You're just going to sign in with Google, answer its prompted questions, and it will eventually, after you've gone through it all, bring you to a home page that looks like this. Okay. Now, it obviously is not going to look exactly like mine. I have two calendars already integrated. And so just ignore that. It's probably going to have like a pre-set up calendar here. Okay. But what we want to do once you've created everything is we want to create our own calendar. So we're going to click on create, and we're going to click on event type. And I'm going to try and go nice and slow again. That way you can pause me and then actively do it on another tab. That way you have good success with this. So after you click on create, you're going to go one-on-one. Okay, so we're going to do this one-on-one right here. We're going to give it a name. So I would recommend naming it your name, and then call it parent-teacher conferences. Okay, we're going to add a location. It's going to be in person, and tell them where you're going to be meeting. So it would be Mrs. Graham's classroom. Okay, so give it your classroom name, give it your classroom number, give it gym, give it wherever location is going to be. That's what I would put down for that. Then in the description, that's what's next. I would tell them anything that they need to bring along for parent-teacher conferences. If you want them to be there 5 minutes early, if anything that they would need to be successful for this event. Okay, and then this is just saying, hey, this is what your URL is going to be. You can shorten it, you can change it. I recommend not messing with it, but if you so desire, you can. And then you can pick your event color. It's not going to show anywhere except on your page, so you can just kind of pick what color you like. I'll change it to pink just because I like pink. All right. Then with Calendly, everything is next. So I clicked the blue next, and now we're moving on to date range. So the default is 60 days. Well, we don't need a 60-day default range because we won't be doing parent-teacher conferences for 60 days. So we're going to say within a date range. Now, when you do that, you're going to click on the blue rectangle, and then you're going to select your dates for parent-teacher conferences. So let's pretend I actually don't know when your parent-teacher conferences is. Maybe I'm picking the right dates. Let's pretend they're on the 9th and they're on the 16th of November. Okay, so those two dates are blue, which means I'm going to give it that 1 week date range. And I'm going to say apply. And you'll see in a minute why I chose to do a 1 week date range. I'm not sure if your parent-teacher conferences are back to back, but I'm assuming that they probably are not. So you'll see why I did that here in a second. All right, so after you change it to your date range, the start to the finish, make sure you do that. So whatever first day it is to whatever last day it is. Then you're going to come down here to duration. Parent-teacher conferences are not 30 minutes. They're 10. And you can see that that's not an option. So we're going to use the custom, and we're going to say 10 minutes. Okay. Now the next section talks about how do you want to offer your availability for this. It's not using an existing schedule that's defaulted here. We're going to select set custom hours. Now, when you scroll down a little bit after doing that, you're going to see that we're still in October, so nothing's showing up here. Make sure that you come over here to this arrow and click over to November. Now, I was pretending that my conferences were on the 9th and the 16th of November. So that's what we're going to focus on. I'm going to click on the 9th, and I'm going to say I want to edit those dates. So I clicked on the 9th. I'm going to edit the dates. On November 9th, which is this blue little icon, I'm going to say that I am available from 4 o'clock p.m. until, forgot to click over, 7 o'clock p.m. Okay, 4 to 7. If it's 4:30 to 7:30, if it's 4:30 to 7, you put in the start to the finish, and then you'll click apply. Now, here's an important step. The 10th, I am not available, okay? But right now it's saying I am from 8 to 3. I need to make sure that that gets deleted because we did a date range. So what I want to do is I want to say on the 10th, I want to edit that date. I want to trash that time and say apply. Same with the 11th. That's not a day that has parent-teacher conferences. So I'm going to click on that date. I'm going to edit date, trash that time, and apply. So you can see those two are coming up unavailable. So now you're catching on as to why I chose a week range. That way, if they're not back-to-back dates, you know how to clear out those ones that you're not actually available. So I need to keep repeating those steps. Click, edit dates, trash, apply. Click, edit dates, trash, apply for those days that I'm not actually available. Now I've made it to the 16th, okay? Let's talk about the ones that are in gray real quick. These ones that are grayed out and not white like these, those are not available, okay? Because we are only doing this date range from the 9th to the 16th. So you do not need to click trash on these, okay? Just the ones that are in white within that date range. So now I've got the 9th that I'm doing teacher conferences on, and on the 16th, I'm offering conferences. So I need to make sure I click on the 16th, edit dates, and let's say that this one is from 3 o'clock p.m. until, let's say 6:30 p.m. All right. And I say apply. All right. Don't forget your PMs because otherwise that'll default to AM. All right, so I've got my 2 dates, the 9th from 4 to 7 and the 16th from 3 to 6:30. Now I'm going to scroll down. Do not do any buffers, okay? Want to add time before or after your events. No, you do not want to touch that. What we do want to go to is additional rules for your availability. Okay, so this is important. The first one says start time increments. Show available start times in increments of. Now, conferences are 10 minutes, and we put in up at the top here that we wanted 10 minutes for our duration. So it's important that we match down here the start time increments. We want to make sure that that is also 10 minutes. Now, the other thing that I recommend changing, it says invitees cannot schedule within. I would change that to 1 hour. The reason for that is saying that a parent cannot schedule a conference unless it is at least 1 hour before the event. If it stayed at 4 hours, it could be that day of and they're trying to snag it and it could bring up some issues. So set 1 hour. If you're okay with them scheduling 15 minutes before an appointment, put it to 0. That is totally fine, but I wouldn't leave it at 4 for those laggards that are not signing up and it's the day of, just change it to 1. Okay, so I would do that. Now, you're going to get an alert if you don't do this. So it says automatically detect and show times. We're going to lock the time zone. Otherwise, it will give you an alert that you didn't do that. Okay, so we're going to lock the time zone. And it's not a secret event, so we are not going to click that. So again, with Calendly, after we go through our steps, we say next. All right, so there's only one other step that you need to do. When somebody comes in and tries to sign up with you, they're going to get asked questions. So you're going to click on this first one here, and you're going to say invitee questions. All right, they're just going to ask their name, and it's going to ask for their email. Cool. Okay, now the next question says, please share anything that will help prepare for our meeting. For a parent-teacher conference, you don't need that. I would change this to, do you have any questions or concerns regarding your student? Question mark. Okay. And I'm not going to require it. If they don't want to answer it, that's okay. And I'm going to say apply. Do you have any questions or concerns regarding your student? Okay, and then I'm going to say save and close. And I lied. I would say maybe try clicking on this notifications part and say So they're going to get an email, and it's going to be that an event was created, and you're also going to get an email that's going to tell you an event was created. That's fine. If you want to have email reminders that there are appointments coming up, you can turn that on, okay? So if you want them to get an email the day before that will remind them of their event, you can turn that on. It's up to you. I recommend turning it on. Doesn't hurt to get that reminder. If you want to do these, you can. Then it gets kind of hairy. I would just do emails because they have to put in their email when they go to book it and then invitee questions. And so their email will already be saved within the program, okay? So then I would say after turning on email reminders, I would say save and close. Okay, then you're all done. So everything is set. You've got your parent-teacher conferences set to go. The last step is to view the live page. So I'm going to click on View Live Page. I see my 2 dates are here, the 9th and the 16th. I'll click on the 9th. I've got 4, 4:10, 4:20, 4:30, 4:40. I'm just making sure all my times are lining up. 6, 6:10, 6:20, 6:30. Perfect. Okay. If this time for some reason is not showing up in 10-minute increments and you're missing a chunk or anything, first check your Google Calendar. Do you have another event on there that is set as busy? Okay, you might want to, like if you scheduled parent-teacher conferences on your Google Calendar and you put it as busy for that time, it will be interfering with this. The other steps to troubleshooting, if these are not showing up correctly, would be going back into here and making sure you have 10 minutes here. And down at the bottom in our custom that you have the additional rules for your availability set to 10 minutes as well. All right, so those are your troubleshooting. You need to check the 16th, make sure it is also good to go. So this one starts at 4, this one starts at 3. Excellent, I think everything looks good. The very last thing that you need to do is come up to this URL right here, Command C, that means copy, so copy. I'm gonna come into my email and I'm gonna email it to Courtney because she's gonna put it on a sheet for parents to sign up. That's the last step, is to share this URL with Courtney and you're set to go. If you have any trouble and it's not working out for you, I will be back in the building on, I believe it's October 27th. Let me make sure. Yes, I am back on October 27th. Feel free to sign up with me so that I can help make sure that your calendar is set to go for parent-teacher conferences. All right, good luck.